ever experienced the struggle of trying to communicate with a level 0 student, like literally beginner level student, wherein you've already used all the translations you need? You did TPR, you spoke slowly, but still your student cannot understand you. Well, that's pretty common here in ESL. And I just know the trick to make you more understandable to your students. Use flashcards. Letter flashcards. You know, teachers, it's easier for us to teach letters, the idea of letters and phonics, if we have flashcards. Come to think of it, most of our students are what? 7 years and below, 8 years old and below. And I'm sure at one point your lesson plan will involve introducing letters, especially if you're using the scaffolding technique. So it's important that you have these flashcards. Let's say you're introducing the letter I. You could just simply point your finger to the letter I and say, this is the letter I. I, I, I. You see, this facilitates learning because this is going to be like a visual stimulus for your student to understand what you're trying to say. Flashcard number 2, numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We badly need numbers because most of the time we ask our students, how old are you? Right? That's like one of the most basic questions that we ESL teachers ask our students to assess their language level. So let's say you ask the question, how old are you? Nijisuela, how old are you? And still they can't understand you. Why not show your flashcards? Are you 5 years old? Five? Five ma? Therefore, you become more understandable. And of course, when you're asking your students to count, or you're asking the questions, how many? How many apples are there? How many? Yes, san, three. E-R, san, three. Three. You see, your flashcards eventually become your best friend because it's one of the best teaching aids for us ESL teachers. Flashcard number 3, shapes. Isn't it that when we were like 5 or 4 years old, one of the first few things that our parents taught us was shapes? So pretty much for majority of our students in the ESL world, well, this would always be part of our topic. And you guys, I noticed that Chinese shapes are pretty challenging to say. Like, there are shapes that would really drive your tongue crazy. And if you cannot say it right in Chinese, simply use a visual aid. This is a star. Star. Xing, star. Circle. A circle. Can you say circle? Circle. And why not play a memory game with your students using your flashcards? You can even cover any of these shapes and ask them to remember what they see. Let's say you're going to ask them to read these shapes. I'm sorry about the lighting, by the way. This is going to be star, circle, rectangle. Say it again. Star, circle, rectangle. Then you cover the shape and ask them to repeat the shapes that you've just mentioned earlier. Colors. Aren't these cute? I got this from SHOPEE, by the way. So, as I was saying, colors would be one of the most common knowledge extension that we do in our classes. Let's say you're talking about objects, fruits, or you're talking about animals. Why not ask them all of a sudden about colors? That way you could expand their knowledge. You could share something that is not really being asked by the lesson plan, or other things beyond the scope of the lesson plan. You could also share them in your classroom. So why not talk about colors? What color is this? 神秘颜色. 神秘颜色. What color? Purple. Very good. This one. What color is it? 橙色. Orange. Very good. You see, ESL teachers, through these flashcards, even though it's not really a part of the lesson plan, I was able to do some knowledge extension. Classroom instruction. Yep. The different actions that you need your students to do should also have corresponding flashcards, especially for tenured ESL teachers out there. We do understand how much of a struggle it is to give instructions to level zero level students. That's why these flashcards are a must. I also got them from Shopee. So if you need your student to respond, you could point this microphone towards their direction. What's this? What's this? It's a cat. Mm, can you press the correct answer? Where is the apple? Can you press it? Or why not use this one? This is also my favorite. Is this correct? Yes or no? 是的,不是. Is this correct? Or, your pen. Can you write the correct answer? What letter? Or can you circle for teacher? Circle. 串起来, circle. Very good. Can you read for teacher? It's a duck. Very good. And teachers, you can even use these. These are not really actions, but this is something that would require a response from them. Let's say, before you begin your class, after all your warm up, you could say, "Are you ready? Go!" So these action cards or instructions, make it more understandable for your students to understand what you're trying to ask them to do. Because for a zero level student, it's quite frustrating not to understand what you're trying to ask them to do. And there would be times when they would just copy what you're trying to say. Let's say you'd say, can you circle? Circle for teacher. They'd say, circle for teacher. Rewards. As an ESL teacher, it's important that we know how to appropriately give our students rewards to encourage them to participate in class. It's also a great way for us to boost their self esteem, their self confidence, and to make them feel that sense of achievement that they've done something right in your class. So, my favorite flashcard for the rewards would be stars because I could also use it to indirectly fish for 5 stars. In the ESL world, it's also important for us to get 5-star ratings from our students. You did such a great job. Teacher Karen will give you not one, not two, but 5 stars. Shing, 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 shing. And teachers, when it comes to rewards, you can also use other flashcards, just like this one. Because you're so good, Teacher Karen will give you ice cream. Members of the family. Well, this is not really much of a teaching aid, but an instrument for you to be able to make it or find it easier, rather, to get to speak to family members. Let's say you'd like to speak to the student's mommy, or the mom is observing your class. You could say, "Hi, mommy." Or let's say you saw the brother or the sister in the background. Why not use that for rapport? "Oh, is that your sister?" 姐妹吗? 这是姐妹吗? Is that your sister? Oh, yes, it is. As you can see, ESL teachers, we're not really teaching the concept of sister, brother, sister, mother, father, but it's really more of us establishing rapport or establishing that connection with our students. Pictures of common objects: boat, apple, truck, car, cat, rabbit. These are common objects or common animals that would often be included on our teaching material. So instead of just, teaching from the material itself, why not give them additional visual stimulus by showing them other pictures of the objects or animals that you're teaching in class? Meow. What's this? 这是什么? Meow. It's a cat. Very good. And teachers, you can also use your flashcards to play a memory game. Let's say we're going to talk about the letter L. You can just simply show the picture of the animal and have the student guess the letter. What letter does this animal start with? Lion. Very good. It starts with a letter L. There you have it, teachers, the different flashcards that we could use to our advantage. Stop being that boring teacher every single time and invest on these flashcards. It's only what, like 300, 400 pesos to invest on these props, these flashcards that you would be able to use in the next years to come. Be that amazing ESL teacher that you could ever be, starting with investing on the right stuff, just like flashcards. So, teachers, you know the drill. This is going to be the end of my video. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, video requests, or anything that you'd like to say to me. Please be friendly. And click that bell icon to get notified for new video uploads. And of course, subscribe to my channel, Teacha Karen, for more tips on how to become the best ever ESL teacher. And of course, self employment tips, work from home tips. There you have it. So I'm going to say bye bye now. Be a blessing to the people around you.